Welcome to Female Frequency Podcast, everyone. I have a very special guest, a curator, Carrie Scott. Thank you, sister, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Jody.
It is art season right now. We're getting ready for grants applying, residencies are asking for people. The exhibits are coming up. Art fairs, Bonanza, the Venice Biennale is coming up.
All the things, all the things. And you want to know what? You haven't even asked me a single question. I'm wound up and ready to go. I wasn't going to go to Venice because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go after all the parties and I'm just going to go and it'll be quiet and I'll take my time and it'll be fabulous. And then I got an invite to the British Pavilion party with Lubaina Hamid, who I love and interviewed before she was picked to represent the UK at the biennial. And I got the invite and I was like, the fact that I'm now on that list, I have to go. So I like lastminute.com booked a flight with miles. And today, literally today, was like booking.com and lastminute.com, like trying to find a hotel that isn't £5,000 for like the tiniest room ever. So that was my hour this morning.
Girl, you got to go. And yeah, once I got an invitation to, I was like, and I will go and I will be delighted. But truth be known, I did score a hotel. I just booked one like in January, just in case. But because now I want to be closer to some of the venues. And yeah, there's the accommodations are minimal.
No, you're making better life choices than I
Yeah.
am.
Well, I love the choices that you're making in your business because you're 2 or 3 years into Seen.Art.
Not even two. So September will be 2 years.
Oh my God. How's it going?
Oh, Jody, that's the worst question you could have asked me.
I know it's a
Um,
love hate.
it I honestly also don't know, right? There are moments where uh my team, which is basically me and one other person, and then a whole host of amazing humans that sort of parachute in when we need them. Um, but uh, I sometimes am like, oh God, this is a disaster. Like we're never going to make it. And then I'm reminded that we started it less than 2 years ago and we have members and it doesn't cost us money and we don't have this like huge runway of VC funds that like actually it's working um and that we're making a difference, like properly making a difference to artists' lives, to collectors' lives. We just placed a really amazing work, and I can't say by who, but
Yeah.
with a collector who was waiting for a piece by this artist for years. And like we worked on that with him, and he's like over the moon about it. And then on the other side of the coin, a bunch of artists in Glasgow bought this horrible situation to my attention where they were going to 200 artists were about to lose their artist studios.
Oh,
And so we posted about it and we were like, what is this doesn't seem right. And a developer ended up getting in touch with the artists and is now working with them to like rehome them all. And the council actually had to start paying attention to this petition that we helped get people signed. And so like we're doing things and it's awesome. And we get to have conversations with artists all day long and introduce people to artists all day long. And so it's awesome, but it's terrifying, right? I had this tiny little business. I was behind the scenes for 17 years. I was helping artists do big, amazing things, and they were in the forefront, not me.
yeah.
Um, and we inverted that model because that model was no longer working. Thank you, COVID. Uh, and and I wasn't reaching enough people, right? I knew that. It was one to one. There was no scale. It was a lifestyle business. It afforded me the opportunity to, I had two assistants for 15 years and I managed to have two kids and take
Yeah.
Fridays off for all of those years. Um, and this is not that. This is like, I am exposed and I'm telling everybody the first thought that comes to my mind. And it's fun and terrifying. And as I said to you a second ago, I question my life choices.
Well, I think you're definitely helping people understand the art world and how it combines and integrates into the real world because I agree with you. It's the Wild West. And I'll never forget where I was when I realized this is the Wild West. Like there's the procedures and like some sort of standard is no.
No,
No,
none.
not at all. So, and actually, one of my questions you were doing, I saw on an Instagram reel, you were interviewing people, showing or explaining to people that a IKEA chair was just sold for like 15,000 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I that so right. One of our missions is to, as you say, um, connect the real world and the art world. And you can't do that if you're just talking to the art fluent and
Yeah,
the people that are in this industry, right? We all love it. We know why we love it. We know why it matters. Um, and actually just talking in that echo chamber doesn't make any sense. And we're not going to get new collectors in and we're, you know, we need new collectors to
agreed.
survive. Um, and society needs art to survive. So, like, this is crucial. So, I thought that we should do some vox pops on the streets, and I'd done them mostly outside of art fairs, which is not the mission. That's talking to the converted. So, I went to the worst location I could possibly think of, which was Oxford Street, which is in London, central London, and is like fast fashion mecca.
Yeah,
IKEA, Topshop, Nike, right? Like it's that corner. And um, I was sort of interested in IKEA being collectible and this idea that kind of anything is collectible and value comes from whoever decides something is valuable. Uh, and so, yeah, so I stood outside IKEA on a very, very cold January day, um, and asked people about like, do they collect anything? And did they know that this IKEA chair had sold for so much money? And I didn't know it, but there's a huge secondary auction market for IKEA stuff, which I kind of love, right? That one, these things are designed with so much integrity that they can retain value and that artists
yeah,
design them, you know, proper grown-up designers help design IKEA stuff. And the flaw in the custody of or the chain of ownership comes when someone builds it badly, right? That
yeah.
like actually what makes IKEA garbage is the idiot who doesn't follow the instructions, me. Um, so yeah, I loved that. And I lots of people got upset about one of those reels. I can't remember which one it was, but it was all my bloopers of people being like, I don't want to talk to you. And they were like, what did you expect? Like they just thought you were trying to sell something. And I was like, guys, it's okay that people didn't want to talk to me. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. I loved that, you know, some person was like, wait, what I don't think I want to talk to you. What are you asking me? And I was like, do you ever go see art shows? Like, do you do this? Do you do that? And they eventually warmed up. So it's a fun exercise. And we'll definitely do it again.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah.
So, what's your favorite chair? Do you have a favorite chair?
No, that's just mean. I really like, oh God. I don't even know the designer. Do you know what? Everyone who listens to this is going to be so mad at me, especially because like
Girl,
I
you're a
spoke.
mom. You could say your rocking chair. Like, what's your favorite
I'm
chair?
supposed to know this. Our dining room chairs I love so much, and they're from Carl Hansen,
Mm,
and they're like some super fancy uh Nordic. I don't even know where he's from, but it's like you know that whole
yeah, yeah.
thing.
Mm.
And my friends in Copenhagen are gonna start throwing things at me. But shout out to Scandi Design.
Just a reminder, everyone, spontaneity rules. So Carrie doesn't know all the questions that I have for her. Yeah, just heard you say like in a very grown-up way, and I heard you on Heidi Zuckerman's Art Matters podcast. How was that for you? Because you were like, Heidi, you're sitting at the grown-ups table, and I'm like, Carrie, you're totally at the grown-ups table.
But she's a proper. I
She's
mean,
a
she's like
woman that's open to
run,
museums. Yeah.
opened, fundraised, built them with her. Like, you know, she's amazing. Um, and I loved being on that with her. And that conversation was great because she's a real human being. But like all of us, right? I have major imposter syndrome, despite being in the business for 20 years. I think because I didn't do it or I started it the normal way, and then I ejected because, well, the financial ruin of 2008,
Hmm.
2009 meant that like I didn't have a job and couldn't find a job and was like, I'm just gonna have to make something up here because I didn't go to grad school to not be in the art world, but no one's buying art. So what am I gonna do? Um, and so then I found myself on this like, this, I hate using this word, this journey with my business, but it was a journey, where I just was kind of doing things not the way everyone else was doing them, right? So I was helping artists do documentaries and books and exhibitions in weird places. And we were doing pop-ups before those were a thing, while also doing museum shows. Um, but yeah, I guess I've never felt like I was like part of the establishment, as it were.
Well, yeah, you've been doing it for so long. And when you're a gallery director as young as you were, and then looking at the art world and participating and hustling for the artists, absolutely. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anytime I talk to the grown-ups, as it were, I'm always like, ooh, that's so nice. Somebody wrote to me. I'm trying to decide whether I should say her name. Someone wrote to me recently who's also a woman running a huge, maybe the biggest museum in the world. Maybe. I don't know. Uh, and she sent a really nice note the other day on a silly little piece we did about Tracy Emin,
Yeah,
which gives it all away. And she was just like, keep going. And I was like, oh, thanks. I can't believe you know who I am. That's so cool.
that's so cool. Well, three cheers for you. Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, including your art criticism, your opinions, inclusion, and it all is coming from such a safe place and an authentic place when you're talking about the artwork. I mean, I think you're using humor as well. I love it when you're like, I was this years old before I realized this. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bit of that, but there's a bit of that in life, right? I mean, I mean it when I say that the things that you see on Instagram in particular are literally the loudest thought in my head at the time that I'm like, I just can't shake this. So why don't we say it out loud so it leaves my head?
Yep.
And it started with, right, I recognized that a bunch of big blue chip galleries were doing collaborations, and I was like, guys, why aren't we talking about this? Because they've never done this. No one's played nice before. Why
No
are they
one's
playing
there.
nice now? This is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Um, and and so yeah, and from that I was like, oh, maybe we should do this more often. Maybe I should, instead of picking up the phone and again talking to someone in the industry and being like, hey, this is wild, what's happening. I was like, let's do that part out loud. So
Yeah.
I don't know, speaking of out loud, I'm kind of hoping I'm home. This is the end of my day. So
Yeah.
I came back from the office in an attempt to do this call and then hang out with the kids. My child is in the shower right now, downstairs, singing his head off. The other child is playing the electric guitar. And I said to both of them, please, can you just be quiet? Because I'm doing a podcast and like, gotta be pro. And they were like, got it, mom, got it. So if you're hearing all of that, I apologize.
That is so great. This is a woman that's not even going to strum arm her kids. She's going to like let them express themselves. It's all good. And actually, I can't hear it at all.
Yeah.
Um, I have a little game for us. I love your art criticism and that you just put yourself out there as an art historian and just umbrella that the whole time. So I am a Lucy Lapaired. I'm in Camp Lucy all the way. But let's go. Who do you pick? Clement Greenberg or Robert Hughes?
Never Clement Greenberg. He's the bad guy.
Never. That's right. Okay. Good answer. Um, let's go Simon Schuma, Jerry Saltz.
Jerry.
I guess. I know.
Also,
Simon's such a good writer, though. I don't know.
I know Simon is a good writer, but Jerry gives me he's like one of the big kids, right? And when he hearts things or comments on things or DMs me, I'm like, it's Jerry.
It's Jerry. He's a fan of yours. Totally. How about Roberta Smith versus Russell, Legacy Russell?
I don't know enough of Legacy Russell's stuff. I don't think I know any. So Roberta, and also, come on, like she cut her teeth. How many thousands of years did she do at the New York Times?
I know. I know. Yeah. I just wasn't super stoked on her last comments on Judy Chicago's show. So I kind of
She
gave her the
said,
side eye for a minute.
what did she say?
I should go back and go read it so I don't have to armchair it too bad. How about that? We'll do a part two.
Let's do a part two. Or you're just gonna hear my notes out loud on Instagram
Yeah.
tomorrow once I read it.
Oh yeah. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So you put out an Instagram reel like 8 things artists should know. So authenticity, okay. Research. Can for like the emerging artists like research what? Like you've been a gallery director, you've had huge shows everywhere, you've got your own business helping artists now. Like what's like another nugget? One pass research.
Research. Seriously. One of the things, so we're building it out right now, and it's hard. This is like a mammoth um task that we've got at the moment. So I was one of the things that artists often say to me, they're like, where do you think I should look to show my work? And oftentimes I'm like, you're not ready for the big galleries. So we need to think, what are the emerging galleries and where are you based, right? You're in California or you're in London. So you got to think of who those are. Like, you know, yeah, but what are we looking at? And I decided, I mean, literally like 3 weeks ago, I thought to myself, we should do the most comprehensive list of galleries around, like a directory, right? Like these are the galleries that exist in the world. But how would we do that? Like you can't Google galleries, and most lists of galleries are like the top 50 in the UK or the top 20 in New York, or right, they're very kind of regional. And so then I thought, well, if we took the top 30 art fairs, so all the Basels, all the
Yeah.
Frieses, um, then all their satellites, and then the kind of medium specific fairs, so photo fairs in particular.
Mm,
And we did comprehensive lists of the last 2 years of exhibitors. How big, how many galleries would be on that list? And you're talking a lot. And then how interesting would it be to have the data that shows who showed at Art Basel and who showed at Frieze, and then who showed at the satellites, and like the identity of a NADA art fair versus an untitled. They're very different,
right.
and they're on different tiers. There's hierarchies there. So we're putting together this like mammoth Airtable that we're going to make available to artists, because I think that it's really important that an artist understands um, those hierarchies and can look at it and say, okay, I could see myself fitting in these 10 galleries, and then start closely following those gallery programs to see what resonates, right? It's not just about like, okay, well, my work fits there. It's about the like relationship that you as an artist would have with gallerists, you as the artist would have with other artists in that family, right? These are small mom and pop businesses, ultimately, even the
Yeah.
big ones. Um, and so it's kind of properly feeling your way through that through research, I think. Um, Beyond that, like the the advice, the advice that like I think I said to an artist right before we got on this call, an email, I reminded them never approach a gallery at an art fair. That's my like number one for artists.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Don't do that. Yeah. Yeah. Network like your life depends on it somewhere else because that's another one. That's another one on your list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that. Do that by going to every show of a gallery that you love, right? Like, and not just the opening. Go when it's quiet and the gallerist is not pulling their hair out and terrified they're not going to sell anything. Like, go on a random Wednesday right before they close and say, "Hey, God, I love this show. Thanks so much," and leave, right? Like, build a relationship, um, not a transaction.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. One of my favorite artists that I ended up working with was somebody that just rode a skateboard by a lot. Just wrote, he just always wanted to see the work, always wanted just to say hello. And yeah, probably a few years later, we worked on a huge project. He's killing it in New York now. Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Leverage social media. I think a lot of people can relate to that and are trying hard on that. Don't sleep on group shows is another one. I know.
Right?
Why is there such a stigma against group shows? They're awesome.
They are awesome. And context matters. So I don't get the like, should I do this or should I not? Say yes.
Say
Say
yes.
yes.
Always say yes. Keep an eye on open calls. Hello. Apply for residencies and grants, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you now because we're in the season right now for you to be helping. And the power of a collective, huge. I don't
Right?
think that that's old school. That is major. That's major.
Yeah. And don't you wish, I wish there was a collective for like people like you and me. So that we could pick up our bat phone and be like, guys, can we just sit down and talk about this for a second? Because I don't know how to solve this problem. Um, I loved that about I love that about academia, that you were kind of all in the same boat, even if you were studying completely different things. You could be like, okay, let's talk about how much we hate Clement Greenberg.
Yeah, let's
Um,
do it. Okay, I think I'll start a WhatsApp group. Me and you could be first and second, and I'll my interviews this last week, I'll go ask if they could be on there too. Yeah. Just
what's
another net.
funny
Yeah.
is that there's a group of kind of art influencers. It includes James Payne, Great Art Explained, and
Oh
the
yeah.
Art Bystander, Larry's List founder, a bunch of great accounts, and we're all in a WhatsApp group together, and they just called it Art Friends. It's
Art.
Good Night Gallery, um, and it's so fun because they everyone's kind of cheerleaders for everyone else. So if someone does something great or has like a huge viral success, we're all like, "That was awesome! What a fun video!" Or and so there's a bit of doing the social media side
Yeah.
um, can be incredibly frustrating and so super trial or error, and some things completely bomb and you're like, I have no idea why I spent 3,000 hours on that. uh, and so just having a little cheering squad in the background who's like, loved it anyway, girl, you're like, thanks.
Thanks. Yeah. That's, when artist collectives, I was part of Center on Contemporary Art for so many years, curating. And I think that is one way that we can help connect this list is that when artists could do their research in these collectives to see what other artists are getting in their contracts, getting in their consignment agreements, that they can really see they don't always have to just get a template contract. They can see what their friends are getting and make sure that they are educating themselves on what they don't know yet.
Like, so well said. So well said. Right. The number of times someone will get on a call with me and say, hey, is it normal for the gallery to demand this? And if that artist was in a collective, they could ask all the artists and poll, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's user friendly to work with? All the things. Did they make me pay for that? What? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. So, how do people get a hold of Seen.Art and become part of your collective?
Easy, easy, easy. So we're a membership model. Um, and we have an artist here, which is I think it works out to $10 a month, but it's £7 if you're in the UK. And then we have collector tier and corporate tier. So that's kind of if you want well, all of them, or if you want access to databases, things like that gallery list I was talking about, workbook, all sorts. We offer all sorts that way. Instagram obviously is another, that's our little tip of the iceberg. So follow along there. It's Carrie Scott Curates, and watch Seen.Art because Seen.Art was not available. Uh, so we're watch Seen.Art. And people are always like, is the business watch Seen.Art or is it Seen.Art? One day I'll fix that somehow. Um, and so Insta, yeah, or membership is really it, or email, right? Good old fashioned Carrie at
Good old fashioned.
Seen.Art. You
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah. And you're so approachable. I mean, I just texted you. So to all the artists out there emerging or myelin level, like artist memberships are the way to go. And I hope everybody can go educate themselves on what watch scene, watch art scene. No, go follow Carrie. And I hope you have enjoyed this episode. We'll see you later.